Sustainability and why Austria is on the right track. My name is Katrin Erben. I'm in charge of the topic sustainability strategically at Austria Tourism. And I have actually the pleasure to talk a little bit of what we're doing and why we're doing it and why we think we're on a good way. You might have seen it already in the little teaser. You might have heard about it before. In 2019, something called the Plan T, the Masterplan for Tourism, was published by the ministry in Austria. It's in the end an overall plan, a strategic vision of what steps to be taken towards that Austria is becoming one of the most sustainable destinations in the world. It was published 2019. We had a pandemic, so it was a little bit in the background, but still it's still in force now. We have every 2 years action plans, and mainly it's all about being sustainable, being a key player when it comes to the twin transition. So digitalization going hand in hand with sustainability, enabling themselves, helping each other and support. We are here very often talking also about data usage, data spaces, to have a foundation of what we're doing, to see what steps can be taken and what the status quo is actually. Having the master plan as relevant framework, pairing it with different specifications, seeing sustainability not only from an ecological point of view, but also covering the social dimension, the economic dimension, taking the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, into consideration, and different other frameworks, is how we came up with our sustainability strategy that more or less goes in line with all the projects and initiatives that we are forcing. And I have to say, our starting point was actually a very good one. When we look at the strength and opportunities, we already did see that the guest satisfaction, the reputation of Austria is very high. We do see it with our travelers that actually mountains, landscape are the one driving force for people deciding to come to Austria. We have already a very high average length of stay, which is a good thing because, of course, traveling leaves a footprint. There is a CO2 footprint. But if you can spread it not only over 4 days, but having 8 days, 9 days, a very high average length of stay is getting better because mobility, when it comes to arriving and departure, is better or distributed in a better way. We already see that also the regionality, the regional products of Austria are very well perceived worldwide. So people know what they get, what they can expect, and that goes hand in hand also with other general conditions like a very good level of biodiversity, water quality. It's almost 100% of all the lakes in Austria have drinking water quality. Those are, of course, strengths that we can very much build up a positive image when it comes to sustainability. But those are the opportunities, and that's still the time that we are in now. We do see that sustainability is getting more and more important. It's still not the main decision criteria for booking holidays, but it's getting more and more considered by travelers, which also means that even the offer is wider spread with diverse possibilities of spending a sustainable holiday in Austria. Right now, there is still a time window, and that's not only counting for Austria, actually. It's worldwide, where you can really use sustainability to differentiate yourself from others. The point is, sustainability is not a trend, and I'm not just saying that because it's actually my job to take care of the topic, but also I really believe in that. And right now, we are still in a window of opportunity for positioning ourselves, for working on ourselves, and then improving our product to have an increased focus. One of the main aspects that differentiates Austria from other competitors and other destinations is the very well-perceived family structure, small business structure. So hotels being run over generations by families. Also, that is an integral part of social sustainability. And of course, mobility. There are many initiatives taken. We have a very good rail network, also with night trains to different European destinations. And we have a very good mobility system in Austria itself. So being very mobile without having a car is certainly possible. And that's also why we decided that there is an important role that also a national tourism organization that Austria Tourism is playing in fulfilling the Plan T. And that's more or less the initiatives that we take. First of all, in the whole field of external perception image. So how do our visitors and potential visitors, our contacts, our networks, like you are all here, perceive us actually? How can we intensify sustainability communication? And it's not about creating expectations that we cannot fulfill, but it's really about showing aspects that might not be popular yet, that might not be known yet. And especially winter tourism is one of those topics where lots of innovations are happening, and sustainability is a very important factor, and many people don't know about it. Mountain cable cars in Austria work with 100% renewable energy. It's lots of initiatives, innovations, technological changes did happen over the last years, and they are continuing to happen. So those are the factors that we really also want to put in our communication, and of course also addressing guests that want to take as much responsibility for nature, for people, but also for next generations, as we in Austria really want to do that. Furthermore, knowledge transfer, and especially sustainability, which is one of the key topics when it comes to the future, actually, the future of tourism overall, also means that nobody has to reinvent the wheel all the time. We can learn from each other, we can grow from each other. And it's not only within the country, but also with other countries, with other national tourism organizations, with other destinations, to be in a regular exchange, to see what they are doing, what we can maybe also learn together. Because in the end, what we really want to do is focusing on a future of tourism, and focus on the tomorrow of the industry, which is still already sustainable in bringing people together, because that's another dimension of the social component. We always try to provide us orientation to not only destinations within Austria, but also to different businesses. Why? Because they can also grow together. They can actually enable themselves to be better. Since last year, or since 2023, by now it's already 1.5 years ago, we already have a certification also for destinations, the Austrian Eco-Label. That's by now having 6 destinations in Austria being certified, and probably within 2025 there will be another 5 at least. They bring their businesses, their hotels, their accommodation, their restaurants along on the certification process. And it's not about having the label in the end. It's really about having orientation, both for the business side, the supply side, but also for our visitors, for our partners, that they can know if there is Austrian Eco-Label written, it's really external checked and audited. And of course, collaboration. And I'm not sure if you've already seen the corner on the way to the other hall, which is about Change Tourism Austria. It's also a platform launched by Austria Tourism. It's an initiative focusing from us, and their sustainability is one of the main pillars as well, because it's about change, it's about the future, and that does not work without sustainability. And that's also the reason why we're doing many things. And we also have out there some of our publications, which is really about best practices. And the reason for that publication was not to show off, but really inspire others to see what is possible when it comes to a sustainable winter destination, a sustainable summer destination, but also social sustainability, mobility, or looking at different resources and circularity to actually grow together. And the other main pillar, which is kind of my heart project, is it did happen last year for the very first time. It was the Sustainable Tourism in Austria Summit, and it's going to happen again this year in June. It's a 2-day conference, partly in German, partly in English. It's this time also going to be translated in many other languages, and it really brings together people to learn from each other, to be inspired, to talk. Because in the end, it's not only the case when it comes to sustainability, but in that field maybe even more. It's good to talk. It's better to listen, and it's the very best thing if it's dialogue that lets us all grow. And that's what we try to do, because in the end, it's not always easy to be in a transformation, but change is happening. And that's a quote that I like very much. yeah, many people don't like change. But if you don't like change, you're going to like irrelevance even less. And that's the reason why I think sustainability certainly came to stay. It's about the future, and change is happening. And Austria tries its best to be on that very path. And there are still many things to do, but we're on the track. And I hope I can give you some insights. Anyhow, if there are any questions on some specifics, you can always reach out to me. But thank you very much for being interested in that topic. Thank you.